Minute Modcast with his mates. Episode 166.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Min's Minutes Modcast with his mates. Hey, Mo and Satya.
Hello.
The final topic I had is we all love to look at the latest AI tools as well. And I know some of us have been looking at the new OpenAI models O3 and O4 or 4. I lose count. It's like, why can't it just be like GPT-5 now? But hey ho, there we go. And then we've got mini and mini high and all sorts. Mo, take it away. What have you been doing with them?
Yeah, the O3, the main O3 model came out, I think it was last Wednesday, and the O4 Mini High and the whatever the low one as well. It's just been exciting. So what I've been doing and playing around with is creating brand photo shoots. So let's say you want to create a product, you want to make an image out of it, make it like a nice photo shoot. So instead of spending thousands of dollars and pounds to go and do a proper photo shoot, create a prototype, you don't need to do that anymore. And another thing we experimented with my co-founder is if you want to design your interior of your room or your home, so you can basically take a picture of an empty room or even make it empty first with the AI, especially with the O3 model, which is pretty good with image generation, and restyle and design it before you go and purchase all those things that you want to put in there. So it's so cool. And it's really like going to the next level, honestly.
Wow. Is that an AI shirt you're wearing right now? Is that real or is
No,
that just
no. Well, logically, you could do 3D printing, right? So
yeah,
maybe it can be.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
mate,
yeah.
got to get the dad jokes in, right? Yeah, I had a play with it because I saw a video of someone saying, here's some of the really cool things you could do with the Mini because that's the one that has the deep thinking, it goes to the web, etc. And one of my cousins snapped a picture she put on Facebook and she didn't say where it was. And I saw a similar example of someone doing this on YouTube. So I thought, let me give it a go. And it literally sort of went, looked at the pictures, looked at the background, saw the mountains, saw a couple of things, and then went out. And it must have taken it like a couple of minutes. And then it's like, this is definitely the resort and this is the space. But I saw another example of someone had taken just a menu from a Greek restaurant and it didn't have the name of the restaurant, it didn't have the address or anything on there. It just had like the sort of the icons they were using and then the menu. And again, it went through like different iterations, etc. It started zooming in. It wrote the Python to zoom in. It wasn't a particularly great image of the menu either. And again, it literally said, yep, it's pretty much this one at this place. And it was right. And you just like, that just opens up so many different of opportunities. And I think, right, when we all wearing the old AI built into our glasses and kind of getting into the AR, it's just like that is going to be amazing, right? Where you have all of this knowledge just as it's looking real time at everything that we want it to.
It's,
I wonder who is earning out of all this, right? Because when you said about menu, in India there are two companies, or rather one now is called Zomato.
Hmm.
What this
Yeah,
company does is basically aggregate all the restaurants and you have to send your menu. So these are basically pictures of your menu card. So
right. Of
this
course.
also makes me wonder whether this also, like these pictures went in
Yeah,
as a training model for AI, like
yeah,
the revenue streams, how much these few folks must have really gotten out of it.
yeah. No, very interesting. Sorry, Mo, you're saying.
no, I was just going to say you talked about glasses, and I'm trying to remember the name of the company. But I saw some advertisement that the guy was wearing the glasses. He went on a date with a
Okay,
lady, and he didn't know about the profile. He forgot about a
okay.
lot of details.
Oh man, I need these glasses. Not
Real
for
time.
dating, obviously, for remembering people's names.
But real time, he was getting info. He was a little bit faking his own profile and
Oh,
stuff and
okay.
doing that. So it's gonna, like, in the next few years, maybe in the next decade, like using the virtual glasses like VR and all those different things that are coming out. It's gonna be more, and that would be coming in instead of our phone. and the iPads and all these
Yeah,
things. So it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see like how that will impact us as humans
yeah,
interacting with each
yeah.
other, though.
100%. I can already see when we're at the dinner table, my wife's like, "No, put away your phone," and then in the future she'll be like, "Take off those glasses. I can see you sneak the snooker on or the football," rather than listening to me. Go ahead, Satya.
Because more reminded me of another app that I've come across is you can cheat your way through an interview. So if you download that app, it creates a transparent screen.
That's right.
And let's say you're asking me questions about protein structures, it'll
Mm,
answer those questions in milliseconds.
yeah,
And I can pretend I'm thinking, but I'm actually reading those answers and giving it to you. And as a recruiter, if you're asking me to share the screen, you will not even see that exists. So the cheat codes, and that also has a use case for online dating.
yeah,
Like this word, like how you talk to someone whom, if you're a socially shy person,
yeah,
then how would you talk to them?
yeah.
So it was a pretty interesting app, but I don't code, so I don't have to answer those questions for anyone.
Wow, what a world we're going to be living in. Any closing comments from either of you as to anything else going on this week?
I am playing with this tool called Cortex Go. So it is for people who want to write a lot
Mm,
and you want to brainstorm with it using a certain workflow or topics that you are deeply interested in. So the conditions are that you have, let's say I've read a book or a bunch of papers or a bunch of
mm.
white papers. I collect them, put it in it, and it helps you write many different formats basically. So this is something that I was playing with. It's quite interesting. I think if it does a very good job, then I would also subscribe to it at some point.
Yeah, wow.
it,
Sounds very cool. Yeah. Mo?
Mo?
No, I just have a comment maybe for the audience
Sure.
is that don't worry if you don't know all the stuff coming out there. There's a lot of updates and things happening. So just put your head down. For sure, spend time learning the new things that are coming out there, but just don't get overwhelmed because I know how that feels.
Yeah, spot on. I think because we're, I think the three of us are living in a bit of a bubble, and we spend time every week looking at these topics. And even I went to an event last week, and it was for the AI community in London, and there was probably about 250 people there. And they do live demos. I know slides, and they do live demos. And whilst for one of the demos, it was like crunching the data. Cleverly, the presenter said, "Hey, let's play some AI bingo," and she put up a 4x4 box, and in each box it had a particular tool. And these are all people who are like, really interested in this thing. And the presenter said, "We're probably in the top 1-2% of people that know
Mhm.
about AI, because that's why we go to these events." So put up the box, and she's like, "Right, who's heard more than two of these things?" And like most people put their hands up, and then she's like, "5." And then like hands started going down, and she's like 10, and literally like most of the hands were going down. And I was sitting at near the front, and because that's what I used to do at school as well. So it's like, don't stop those habits now, right? So I was happily having my hand up, and then it was like 15, and my hand was still up, and there's only me and this other person, and then they put their hand down because they didn't know ideogram, and because I play with a lot of creating the graphics, I kind of had to play with that one. And it's so sad, but I had like all 16. I'm like, yeah, I've had a play. But most people just put their hands down after about 3. And these were all supposedly people who are AI consultants or spending time kind of looking at this space. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Mo. It's kind of, we're in a bubble. So, and it'll all change again tomorrow anyway, right? I think the key thing that you've said is just embrace it and just see how it can help you in your day to day and high level. It's equivalent of back in the day where it's like, hey, did you watch that football match last week? And now it's like, hey, how did you use O3 Mini High this week? Or maybe that's just the circles I go in. Yeah.